Before booking MSC Poesia, I will admit I was unsure. It was the cheapest cruise I had ever taken, and I had read plenty of mixed comments online about food quality, organization, and how different MSC feels compared to P&O cruises or Princess cruises. Some people described it as chaotic, others said it was misunderstood. So in this video, I'm going to explain what I genuinely wish I had understood before my first MSC cruise. I already knew that MSC embarks and disembarks passengers at multiple ports in Europe. What I did not know was how that would actually feel in practice. I had previously seen an MSC ship in Civitavecchia on Embarkation and Disembarkation day, and it looked busy. There were people with luggage moving in different directions, coaches arriving, passengers leaving, others joining. From the outside, it can appear slightly chaotic. So I wondered whether that would translate into disorganization on board. It didn't. Embarkation can feel busier than on some UK sailings because you may have guests leaving, guests joining, and guests continuing their cruise all on the same day. The ship does not completely empty before new passengers board, but once boarding is complete and the ship sails, everything settles quickly. Also, once on board, your cruise card is usually waiting outside your cabin. On MSC, your cruise card needs to be activated for onboard purchases at the designated machines once you board. This is slightly different from some other cruise lines, and pre-registration is not always available. The process is straightforward and only takes a few minutes. Once activated, all onboard spending is charged to that card for the rest of the cruise. Muster on MSC is straightforward, but it must be completed in the correct sequence. You are given a specific time to watch the safety video in your cabin. After watching it, you dial the number provided to confirm you have completed it. Only then do you physically go to your muster station to be checked off by crew. If you skip a step, you will be reminded. It is also worth knowing that the exact order can vary slightly depending on the port where you embark, because MSC coordinates with different local authorities across Europe. The key point is this: do it when they tell you that you need to do the muster drill, complete it fully, then it is done, and you can relax. Evening dining runs at 5:30 or 8 o'clock. Your dining time and assigned restaurant are printed on your cruise card. If you are used to flexible dining, 8 o'clock can feel later than expected, particularly on port days. This is not a system where you adjust night by night. If you want to change your time, visit the dining desk on Embarkation afternoon. On my sailing, it was near the Zebra Bar. I found it straightforward to change when done early. Leave it later in the week, and your options reduce. There are two main dining rooms. Il Palladio is on deck 6 and has red chairs and red carpeting. Le Fontaine is on deck 5 and has blue chairs and blue carpeting. Le Fontaine is also used for breakfast and lunch, including sea day brunch, which can confuse first-timers who assume both restaurants operate identically all day. The evening menus are the same in both restaurants. For a full breakdown of every dining option on board MSC Poesia, see my dining guide linked in the description. Entertainment on MSC Poesia works slightly differently from some UK cruise lines. There is no need to pre-book theatre shows on MSC Poesia. You simply turn up at the theatre before the performance. Seating is first come, first served, and in my experience, it was not difficult to get in. What is different is the style of entertainment. Because MSC attracts a more international passenger mix, the theatre shows tend to focus more on musical productions, visual performances, and singing acts rather than stand-up comedians or heavily language-based humour. That makes sense when you consider that not everyone on board shares the same first language. Shows are also shorter than some UK cruise lines, typically around 35 minutes. That actually changes the rhythm of the evening. You are not committing to a long theatre block. You can attend a show and still have time afterwards for live music in the atrium or a drink in one of the bars. In the bars and lounges, entertainment is also more music-focused. You will find live bands, pianists, singers, and themed music evenings. The atmosphere leans more toward live performance than organized game sessions. Cabins on MSC Poesia are practical and comfortable, but there are a few small details worth knowing in advance. On my sailing, there was a kettle in the cabin and a small fridge, which was useful. Shower gel and shampoo are provided in dispensers, and a fixed hairdryer is supplied. Towels are provided for both the bathroom and the pool deck, so you do not need to pack beach towels. Cabin towels were refreshed daily, and pool towels can be collected and exchanged on board near the pools. Power outlets are European, 2-pin, and US-style sockets, so if you are sailing from the UK, you will need an adapter. Storage space is adequate, and your suitcases fit neatly under the bed, which makes it easy to unpack properly and keep the cabin organized, rather than living out of your case all week. One thing MSC Poesia does not have is a self-service launderette. Laundry and pressing services are available for a charge. MSC does have themed evenings and a gala night, but it is far more relaxed than some cruise lines. You can check exactly which nights these fall on in the MSC For Me app once you are on board. The daily program in the app will clearly show when White Night or Gala Night is scheduled. White Night is usually one of the more lively evenings, and many guests wear something white if they plan to attend the party. Gala Night is described as a dress-to-impress evening, but in practice, it is suggested rather than required. There is no strict enforcement. You will see a mix of outfits, from smart dresses and suits to more relaxed, smart casual clothing. MSC does not operate a rigid dress code in the way some traditional cruise lines do. The overall approach is noticeably relaxed. If you enjoy dressing up, you can. If you prefer to stay smart casual, that is also entirely acceptable. On European sailings, MSC Poesia attracts a genuinely international mix of passengers. You will hear multiple languages spoken around the ship, particularly in public areas and at dinner. On my sailing, there was a broad mix of nationalities rather than one dominant group. Onboard announcements over the tannoy are delivered in multiple languages, which reflects that mix and is noticeable from the first day. Seating areas in the bars and lounges are often arranged in larger shared spaces, so you frequently sit near or alongside other passengers. That naturally creates a more social environment, and I found the atmosphere friendly and relaxed. Before you even leave home, download the MSC For Me app. You do not need to purchase a Wi-Fi package to use it on board. The app works on the ship's internal network, which is free to access once connected to MSC's Wi-Fi signal. This is important because the app is how you check daily programs, confirm dining times, view theme nights, see show schedules, and monitor your onboard account. It becomes your main planning tool for the week. However, when it comes to paid internet access, MSC's system is stricter than some other cruise lines. Once you log into a device using your purchased Wi-Fi package, that login is locked to that device. You cannot later log out and switch to another phone or tablet. That catches many first-timers out. Because this was my cheapest cruise fare, I initially assumed I might need a drinks package to balance the value. However, MSC's individual drink prices are generally lower than some UK cruise lines. Cocktails, wine, and beer are reasonably priced if you are not drinking heavily. That means the drinks package is not automatically necessary. You need to calculate realistically based on your habits. If you are having multiple cocktails daily, it may work. If you are drinking moderately, pay-as-you-go can be sensible. So run the numbers rather than assuming you must buy a package. Before boarding, I had read comments suggesting MSC Disembarkation could feel chaotic. That was not my experience. You are given color-coded luggage tags and a specific time slot. If you follow your assigned group, it flows steadily. If you wish to self-disembark, you must carry your own luggage and follow the early departure instructions. The system works, but it depends on passengers adhering to their assigned slot. Understanding how MSC operates is one thing, but knowing where everything actually is on board MSC Poesia, how the decks flow, and where you'll realistically spend your time, that's what makes your first day far easier. If you want a full deck-by-deck walkthrough of MSC Poesia, click on screen now and watch my complete ship tour. That's the next thing you should see before you sail.